Hey, what is up everybody, Blades here, and today for you guys another video, Persona 5X. In today's video guys, we're going to be going ahead and doing our legitimate runs for at least the SOS side of things here. Normally I try to do this last second, mainly because of course we do need to just like actually do our real runs at the last second, but also too, because at the first of every patch, I'm really just looking forward to the gyms. I'm not going to lie to you. So this is kind of the last thing on my mind. And since we do have 2 days left and 3 hours left, of course, it's probably best that we go ahead and get started here. So I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna actually split these up into 2 different videos. This is gonna be the side A video in which we're only gonna be utilizing Makoto's team, and then for side B, we'll be utilizing that team there as well. So just check both of them out just to see what we get overall and at least the finish of things. So that's gonna be fairly interesting. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, I ended up getting my team a little bit optimized here. The only thing that I don't like is my wind is actually slower than my Yukari. It shouldn't really change too much, at least with what I'm going to be doing here today. But we're going to see what we can do. Now, normally I would run the fire weapon for this here, but seeing that it's mainly going to be off elements and just basic things in general, I don't think the fire is, at least fire weapon, is going to be the best dagger for this in itself here. I think the only person who will really be benefiting from this is like Makoto, while our man Wonder really won't benefit from it. Neither will our other 2 party members. So we're gonna go ahead and try the mechanic dagger and see exactly what's happened here. So let's just see. Let's see what we can get into. I think this is probably the best thing I could possibly do here. So give it a nice shot. Let's give it a nice shot. All right. Now this is gonna be my first run in in a hot minute. I haven't really done a run on this in quite some time here. So we're gonna try our hardest to see if we can do this correctly. Now, first things first, as per usual, we're gonna be trying to get into that little mode of at least organizing our characters, I'd like to say, in the proper way. So first things first, we're gonna go ahead and use our Anj. And then we're going to make sure we use Wheel of Time first, because we do have an Anj max dupes, so we can go ahead and do this as well. And we'll slowly do things accordingly. Now, one of the first things I'm going to at least do is set up my wind burst, making sure everyone's looking pretty good. And man, we only get that lag spike whenever, of course, our what's it called, our Yukari's doing some things. So that's kind of weird why that happens. We're then going to go ahead and buff our character easily, making sure he gets as much crit damage as possible, and then prepare as much as possible with at least the stacks at hand. So pop this on off, get some decent damage off of it. And then I think the next thing that we can go ahead and do, this isn't our damage round, so I think we'll just go ahead and most likely use our melodic blaze instead of buffing up just yet. So go ahead and pop this off, use this as well, getting some decent damage. If I can hit at least 100k, which luckily we did, that really does help us out quite a lot. Now this boss does pack a little bit of a punch, so we do have to be very aware of that. But other than that, I think we should be looking pretty darn good. So we're going to go ahead and use our skill 1. Make sure we get the rotation on down. And this technically is our DPS round, or could be our DPS round. So I could easily give him the double turns now, or probably wait till later. I think I might end up waiting till later, but we're going to go ahead, pop this on off, making sure we get in the buff perfectly. And then seeing that we are going to have a little bit of a long fight here, utilizing a few things is going to be key. So first things first here, I would like to go ahead and I think we could possibly just pop off our Thurgy. I think our Thurgy would be good, or we can go ahead and just do this instead and get up our Wind Chaser real quick. But for the most part, I think we're just going to pop off our Thurgy, make sure we can get that at least attack up here, get the damage bonus that we do need, and then we'll pop off our skill 2 up next. Now for our Wind Vast, I think our best bet is to go ahead and use our skill 2, because this fight is going to be a little bit long and I don't know if I really trust it too much here. So I'm going to use this here, pop this on and off, and then we're going to use our Wind Vast's skill 2, pop this off as well, getting up our crit damage. And then for this, we're going to go ahead and use Infinite Algorithm, making sure everyone gets that nice old buff. And although I could very well use our assist, I think think I want to save this for at least our last turn. So let's go ahead and just pop this off here. Hopefully we can get a decent bit of damage. So that is around 324k, which really isn't bad. And if we go ahead and pair it with our Scarlet Devouring Blaze, how much we can get off of this? 1.6 mil. Not bad, not bad at all. I kind of figured it'd be a little bit lower than that. I thought it would be at least like 1.4. So I am kind of happy that went at least according to plan. But let's go ahead and do our rotation once again, utilizing our skill 3, putting on Wheel of Time once again, making sure everything is good and refreshed, and then go from here. Now, I do want to say we should have at least our maxed SP once again on our win, so I don't really have to worry about. But we're gonna go ahead and use our Arrow of Rejuvenation, most likely this round, to make sure everyone is good and healed. Because at the end of the day, we don't want anyone dying, so we got to make sure we're getting buffs off of this, and also make sure pretty much everyone's good. Now that this is on back up, we're gonna go ahead and use our skill 3. Pop this on off here. And then for this one, I think I can just go ahead and buff our Wonder, or at least buff everyone up here. Then we're gonna actually go ahead and swap this once again. Now I could very well just not do Revolution, but I kind of want to get my crit rate as up as possible because we need to make sure we're getting as much damage up as possible. So, let's just go ahead and pop our crit rate. And then this still shouldn't be our damaging turn. So if I'm correct, we can just go ahead and use our Mythologic Blaze once again. Hopefully we get some decent damage off here, being around 1 mil. Ah, dang, we actually did a lot less than I expected. Thought we'd do a little bit more than that, so it does kind of suck in that standpoint here, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to make up for it later on. Now we have at least our skill 3 on. We have our skill 1. It's going to be Choir of Doves. And then let's see how we're going to go about this here. I think our best bet is to try and maybe pop our third G once again here, making sure we get that back fast enough. So let's go ahead and pop off the third G. Oh, that lag spike is crazy, man. Do not like that at all. And since we already used our healing skill, we technically just got to go back and forth with our skill 2, skill 3. So we're going to go ahead and pop this off here. And then use our skill 2, making sure we get our SP back. And then we can go ahead and actually swap on over, make sure we get our stacks on up here as well, so we can deal a ton more damage later on. And then I think at this point in time, we should have our third G back. Yes, we do. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this off to get a little bit extra damage. So boom, should deal at least around 400k, 500k, hopefully. Let's go. Okay, we'll take the 400k right there. And then I think the rest of this is just gonna come down to Devouring Blaze. Now we still have 3 whole turns, so we're still doing pretty decent, though I want to hopefully get a little bit higher than what we've gotten so far. We are pretty decent right now, but I might try again with just doing the 3-1 method for at least our wind instead of using the 3-2 method. So I'm gonna have to see exactly how that does go. Now let's go ahead and use our skill 3 for Wheel of Time once again. And let's see. I think our best bet. Yeah, because we still need to heal. We got to heal with everyone once again here. So Arrow Rejuvenation should probably be our main choice to go to. Let's go ahead and pop that on off. And then we'll actually go ahead and pop off our skill 3 once again over here and check out what we can do. Now, one of my first things is going to pop this here. Boom. And then I would think with Wonder, I would say we do need to reinstate our infinite algorithm, if I'm correct, because it has been 2 whole turns. So let's go ahead and reinstate our infinite algorithm. And then go from here, I would say possibly skill 1. So we do want to save everything for our last turn. So if we can hit at least 500k, that would be nice. Maybe, okay, yeah, 500k, not bad, not good. I would say it's all right though. So, all right, now we've done this, we're gonna set up for the last round. So last round here, we're gonna go ahead and buff up here, use a Choir of Doves. and then immediately get off both of our end turns or extra turns here, allowing our man Makoto to just go ballistic. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun time here. So there's one myriad song. And with this in mind, I'm going to go ahead and pop this off once again. Get our second myriad song here, meaning we go a total of 3 times. Absolutely amazing. And then see, we did just pop our regular move here. What I could possibly do is we're going to go ahead and pop the third G off. Hop into the skill, I think we just used the skill 2, right? No, the skill 3. So we're gonna go ahead and pop our skill 2. This on off immediately. Use our lovely Winds ult as well. And then I think we actually are going to be able to use our skill 2 as well, because we are low on SP. So we're going to use our skill 2. And then with this in mind, I think we should be able to just do whatever we want here. So infinite algorithm, we've already done. We've already done that here. Of course, I could easily get an aim here for at least a defense down. I think Rakunda might be helpful as well. So we should get the aim off anyways. So we have the aim, we have our defense down. And with this in mind, I think we can pretty much just do whatever we want. So we're going to go ahead and pop our W assist. This is going to give us the attack that we do need. And then I want to go ahead and pop off this as well, technically, because even though this is our damage time, I think having all the stacks that we could possibly get is definitely going to be worth it. So let's go ahead and use this. Make sure we're getting as much stacks as possible. And then we're going to pop off with the skill 3. So let's see how much damage we can get. First hit going in, immediately a nice 3.1 mil. In which, geez, that was actually a lot of damage there. We can actually go ahead and follow up once again here, utilizing Wheel of Time. And then we're going to do this once again. So now we have that down. We're going to use the Devouring Blaze once again. Come on, hitting us with a whopping 3.7 mil. Absolutely amazing. And then going once again for our last turn, which could get us probably to 30 mil, I would like to say. 30 mil to maybe 32, I think we would say. Yes, okay, 30 mil, which really isn't bad. I do think we got a little bit better, at least in our last one. I think we were at 31 mil. So 33 mil is definitely pretty decent, at least for our first release match back. So pretty nice. I'm gonna at least try the skill 3, skill 1 method next time and see if we can get a better score than that. But off that one turn, we're at 245, and we're going to end up doing our second one as well fairly soon. But thank you guys for watching, and hopefully y'all enjoyed it. So we're going to go on to the next time. Peace out, you guys.